Hello coders, I welcome you all. In this video, we are going to discuss our next machine learning project, Chicago crime rate forecasting using Facebook Prophet. We are going to use real-world dataset available on Kaggle that you can see over here. So this dataset has been obtained from the Chicago Police Department's Citizen Law Enforcement Analysis and Reporting System. This dataset contains around 7 million entries for 17 years that you can see over here from 2001 to 2017. But in this project, we are going to use data from 2005 to 2017. So as you can see here, our dataset is available in .csv file formats. And total we are having 3 CSV files that you can see over here. 2005 to 2007, 2008 to 2011 and 2012 to 2017. So we are going to use these 3 CSV files for crime rate forecasting. So you can download these files from here. So click on this first file, Chicago_crimes_2005 to 2007 and just click on this download button. Again, click on this second file, 2008 to 2011 and click on this download button. Same for this third file. Just click on it and press this download button. I have already downloaded this dataset and stored it on my Google Drive, and we are going to perform this project using Google Colab. So if you are new to this Google Colab, after this video, you can watch my introductory video on Google Colab. Link is given in the description of this video. As I said, I already downloaded these 3 files and uploaded these 3 files on my Google Drive that you can see over here. And I already mounted my Google Drive over here. So let's get started. As I said, we are going to perform crime rate forecasting using Facebook Prophet. So what is Facebook Prophet? Facebook Prophet is open source software released by Facebook's core data science team. The Facebook Prophet is a time series forecasting model. Prophet works best with time series that have strong seasonal effects and several seasons of historical data. Prophet is robust to outliers and missing values. Please remember, it is very simple to use Facebook Prophet, but it is very accurate. So you are wondering, what is the difference between prediction and forecasting, right? Please remember, predictions aim to identify one outcome, whereas forecasts encompass a range of outcomes. Using these 2 statements, you can install this Facebook Prophet on Google Colab. Let me execute this cell. So you have to wait. It will take some time. As you can see here, our installation has been started. You can find these 2 statements in the description of this video. As you can see here, now Facebook Prophet is successfully installed in our Google Colab that you can see over here. So now next, here we are going to import pandas as PD. Also we are going to import matplotlib.pyplot as PLT. And also we are going to import this Seaborn library. Import Seaborn as SNS and our Facebook Prophet. From FB Prophet, import Prophet. As you can see here, P is capitalized. Let me execute this cell. As you can see here, now all the libraries are successfully imported. Now in the next step, I am going to load this dataset as pandas data frame that you can see over here. pd.read_csv and this is our file name path that you can see over here. So if you are directly using this file name up to this, it will generate bad lines error. To remove this, here I have used this parameter in our read_csv. Error_bad_lines is equal to false that you can see over here. And I have used these 3 files. Chicago crimes_2005 _2 _2007. Second file 2008 to 2011. Third file 2012 to 2017 that you can see over here. Let me execute this cell. So again you have to wait. It will take some time because we are going to work on very large data set that you can see over here. As you can see here, still process is going on. We have to wait. So please wait for a while. As you can see over here, now this process is completed. And now our data sets are successfully loaded as pandas data frame with these variables. Data 1, data 2 and data 3. So now in the next step, we have to concatenate this data set because we have 3 different data sets that you can see over here. So let me show you this. So for that, we have to write pd.concat. Here in Python list, let me pass data 1, which is pointing to our first data frame, 2005 to 2007. Next, data 2, which is pointing over here, 2008 to 2011. And third one, data 3, which is pointing over here from 2012 to 2017. Let me assign it to one variable. Let me write data is equal to this statement. Let me execute this cell. As you can see over here, now we have successfully completed this concatenation of 3 pandas data frame. And now we are having only one variable, data. As you can see here, to explain you this project, here I have mentioned some questions. So now let's solve them one by one. So now our question number 1. In this question, we have to display top 5 rows of the data set. So let me write data, which is pointing to our data frame, this one. And we have to use head method of pandas data frame. Let me execute this cell. As you can see here, by default, this head method is displaying top 5 rows of the data set that you can see over here, 0 to 4. As you can see here, different column names, ID, case number. You can refer this cell to get meaning of these different columns. As you can see here, ID, unique identifier for the crime incident that you can see over here, our first column. Next column is case number. As you can see here, case number, records division number assigned to the incident. Third, date when the incident occurred that you can see over here. Block address of the incident that you can see over here. Next, IUCR. You can see here, IUCR, the Illinois Uniform Crime Reporting Code that you can see over here. As you can see here, next one is primary type, the primary description of the crime according to the IUCR, this one. Next one is description, secondary description of the incident that you can see over here. Next one is location description that you can see over here, location description, description of the location where the incident occurred. Next one is arrest. It contains 2 values, true or false, if the convict was arrested or not, true or false. Next one is domestic. Again, it contains 2 Boolean values, true or false, if the incident was domestic related, yes or no. Next one is beat. A beat is the smallest police geographic area. Each beat has a dedicated police beat car. Next one is district where the incident occurred. Next one is ward, the city council district where the incident occurred. Next one is community area. Chicago has 77 community areas. Next one is FBI code, means crime classification according to FBI's National Incident Based Reporting System, NIBRS. Next one is X coordinate, the X coordinate of the incident. Next one is Y coordinate, the Y coordinate of the incident. Next one is year the incident occurred. Next one is updated on, the date and time the record was last updated. Next one is latitude, the latitude of the incident. Next one is longitude, the longitude of the incident. The last one is location, the location of the incident. So total we are having this many features that you can see over here. So this way we can display top 5 rows of the data set using head method of pandas data frame that you can see over here. So now our next question. So in this question we have to display last 5 rows of the data set. So for that we have to use data which is pointing to our data frame, and we have to use tail method of pandas data frame. Let me execute this cell. As you can see over here, by default this tail method is displaying last 5 rows of the data set that you can see over here. So this way we can display last 5 rows of the data set using tail method of pandas data frame that you can see over here. So now our next question. So in this question we have to find shape of our data set, means number of rows and number of columns available in our data set. So for that let me write data which is pointing to our data frame dot shape. So here we have to use shape attribute of pandas data frame. Please remember, shape is not a method, it is an attribute of pandas data frame. Let me execute this cell. As you can see here, total we are having this many rows, around 6 million, and total we are having this many columns, 23. Let me display it in proper format. Let me write print number of rows, data dot shape index 0, print number of columns, data dot shape 1. Let me execute this cell. As you can see here, total we are having this many rows, around 6 million, and total we are having this many columns, 23. So this way we can find shape of our data set, means number of rows and number of columns available in our data set that you can see over here. So now our next question. In this question we have to get information about our data set, like total number of rows, total number of columns, data types of each column, and memory requirement. That we can do with just one method. Info method of pandas data frame. Let me execute this cell. As you can see over here, total we are having this many rows with this indexes. You can see here column names. As you can see here, data types for each and every column that you can see over here. Here, D types column means in our data set, 2 columns with Boolean data type, 7 columns with floating point data type, 4 columns with integer data type, and 10 columns with object data type. And as you can see here, memory usage for our data set that you can see over here. So this way we can get information about our data set like total number of rows, total number of columns, data types of each column, and memory requirement using info method of pandas data frame that you can see over here. So now our next question. In this question, we have to check null values in the data set. So for that, let me write data, and we have to use is null method of pandas data frame. Let me execute this cell. As you can see here, now it is showing data frame with Boolean values. Let me perform sum of true values using this sum function. Let me execute this cell. As you can see over here, location description, district, ward, community area, x coordinate, y coordinate, latitude, longitude, location. So this column contains some missing values that you can see over here. So this way we can check null values in the data set that you can see over here. So now our next question. In this question, we are going to select only the necessary columns because we are having many columns. Some of them are not required at all. So let me first display column names using this columns attribute of pandas data frame that you can see over here. So now let me write data in this to-do list. Let me first take this ID column. Next one is this date column. Let me copy and paste it over here. Next one is this one, primary type. Let me paste it over here. Next one is location description. Let me copy and let me paste it over here. Next one is this column, arrest. Let me copy and let me paste it over here. Now let me copy this column name, domestic, and let me paste it over here. And let me assign it to one variable. df is equal to this statement. Let me execute this cell. Let me check top 5 rows of this newly created data frame that you can see over here. So now our next question. In this question, we are going to check null values in this newly created data frame, df. So for that, let me write df dot is null dot sum. Let me execute this cell. As you can see here, this location description contains some missing values that you can see over here. So we are going to drop these records. So for that, let me write df dot drop na. And to modify our existing data frame, let me assign back. Let me execute this cell. Now let me check df dot is null dot sum. Let me execute this cell. As you can see over here, now null values are dropped that you can see over here. Now let me use info method to get information about our data frame. As you can see here, we are interested in this date column having object data type. So we have to convert data type of this date column to date time. So pandas can interpret it. So for that, let me write pd dot to underscore date time. And here, let me pass df dot our column name, date. And let me select format is equal to m for month, day, and year. And time, I colon m colon s. And for AM and PM, we have to write percentage P, hour, minute, and second. And here is for AM or PM. And let me assign it back to modify our existing data frame. So for that, let me write df dot date is equal to this statement. Let me execute this cell. Now let me check. So for that, let me write df dot info. Let me execute this cell. As you can see here, now data type of date column is converted into date time that you can see over here. Now pandas can interpret it properly. So now our next question. So let's perform some data analytics before forecasting. In this question, we have to find top 10 primary crime types. So let me first display column names. So we have to use primary type column. Let me copy and paste it over here. And we have to use value counts method of pandas data frame. And we are interested in top 10 primary crime types. So head and here we have to pass 10. Let me execute this cell. As you can see here, top 10 primary crime types. As you can see, topmost is theft, that you can see over here. So this way we can find top 10 primary crime types that you can see over here. So now our next question. In this question, we have to find how many criminals are arrested having primary crime type is theft. So again, we have to work on this primary type column, and we are interested in this one, theft. Let me copy and let me paste it over here. Let me execute this cell. As you can see here, output is Boolean values. So let me pass these Boolean values into our pandas data frame. Let me execute this cell. As you can see over here, primary type theft. But we are interested in how many criminals are arrested having primary crime type is theft. So again, we have to use this arrested column. Let me copy and paste it over here. And again, we have to use this value counts method of pandas data frame. Let me execute this cell. As you can see over here, these many are arrested, that you can see over here. So this way we can find how many criminals are arrested having primary crime type is theft, that you can see over here. So now our next question. In this question, we have to find top 10 crime location description. So again, let me first display column names. To know, actually we have to work on which column. We have to work on this column, location description. So let's use this column, location description. Let me copy and let me paste it over here. And we are interested in top 10 crime location descriptions. So for that, again we have to use this value counts method of pandas data frame. And we are interested in top 10. Let me execute this cell. As you can see here, these are top 10 crime location descriptions. As you can see here, the topmost is street, that you can see over here. So this way we can display top 10 crime location descriptions, that you can see over here. So now our next question. In this question, we have to find how many of are arrested having location type is street. So again we have to use this column, location description, and we are interested in street. Let me execute this cell. As you can see here, output is Boolean values. So now let's pass these Boolean values into our pandas data frame to get actual values. Let me execute this cell. As you can see here, location description is street, and we are interested in this arrested column. So let me copy this and let me paste it over here. Let me execute this cell. As you can see here, output is Boolean values. As per our question, we have to find how many of are arrested having location type is street. Again, here we can use value counts method of pandas data frame. Let me execute this cell. As you can see here, these many criminals are arrested where location type is street, that you can see over here. So this way we can find how many of are arrested having location type is street, that you can see over here. Now let's perform some visualization. So for that, we are going to set our date column, this one, as the index of our pandas data frame. So for that, let me write df dot index is equal to pd dot date time index and df dot date. Let me execute this cell. Let me check. As you can see here, now our date column is become index of our pandas data frame, that you can see over here. So now let's perform some visualization. So now let's look at the yearly crime distribution. So for that, we have to use df dot resample method of pandas data frame, and we are interested in year wise distribution. So here we have to pass y dot size method. So please remember, this statement produce the yearly crime count. So now let's visualize it. So for that, I am going to use matplotlib. So let me write plt dot plot. Let me execute this cell. As you can see here, yearly criminal count. So as you can see here, from 2006, the crime rate starts to go up, reaching a peak in 2009, that you can see over here, and going down till 2018, that you can see over here. So this way we can check yearly crime distribution, that you can see over here. So now let's decorate this plot. So let me add title, crime count per year. Let me add X label, years. Let me add Y label, number of crimes. Let me execute this cell once again, as you can see over here. So now let's look at the monthly crime distribution. To save our recording time, let me copy these statements and let me paste it over here. In place of Y, we have to pass M because currently we are interested in monthly crime distribution. Let me execute this cell. As you can see here, now it is showing monthly crime distribution. So this way we can check monthly crime rate as well, that you can see over here. So now our next question. From here, we are going to perform forecasting. So for that, let's prepare our data for Facebook Prophet. So now let's first aggregate the number of cases per month for all years. So for that, let me write df.resample month-wise distribution and count. Now we are going to reset our index that we set with date, but here we are going to reset our index. And let me create pandas data frame for this, and let me assign it to one variable df underscore prophet is equal to this statement. Let me execute this cell. Let me check. As you can see, column name, date and 0. So now let's rename these columns. So for that, let me write df underscore prophet dot columns. Let me set it to date and crime count. Let me execute this cell. Let me check. df underscore prophet. Let me execute this cell, as you can see over here. So now our next question, rename the column. So please remember, input to this Facebook Prophet is always a data frame with two columns, DS and Y. Please remember this. Input to the Facebook Prophet is always a data frame with two columns, DS and Y. DS, date stamp, and the Y column must be numerical and represents the measurement we wish to forecast. So please remember, this first one is date stamp and second one measurement, which is numerical, that we wish to forecast. So please remember this. So now let's rename our columns so Facebook Prophet can understand it. So let me write df underscore prophet, this one, dot rename, and let me use this columns parameter, and we are going to replace this date column name with ds, and this crime count, this one crime count, let's rename it with y, and let me assign it back to modify our existing data frame. Let me execute this cell. Let me check df underscore prophet, as you can see over here. Now our column names are renamed ds and y, that you can see over here. So now our next question. Here we are going to train our model Facebook Prophet, so we can perform forecasting using this model. So let me first create instance of this Facebook Prophet. I have used M. You can use any. And now let's train our model using this wait method. And here we have to pass our data frame, this one. Let me copy this and let me paste it over here. Let me execute this cell. As you can see here, now our model is successfully trained on our data frame, that you can see over here. So this way we can perform model training, that you can see over here. So now our next question. Here we are going to make the predictions using our trained model. So for that, let me write M, which is pointing to our trained model, this one, dot, and we have to use make underscore future underscore data frame method. And here let me pass periods is equal to 24, because we want to forecast for 24 months, means for 2 years. And let me set frequency to M, month wise, and let me assign it to one variable pred is equal to this statement. So now let's perform prediction. So M dot predict, and let me pass this pred over here, and let me assign it to one variable forecast. You can use any. Let me execute this cell. Let me check. As you can see over here, Facebook Prophet has generated this data frame. So now let's visualize it, so we can understand what this Facebook Prophet is telling. So for that, let me write m dot plot m, which is pointing over here to our model, and let me plot this forecast, this one, and let me set x label to date and y label to crime rate. Let me execute this cell. As you can see here, forecast for 2 years means for 24 months, that you can see over here. So here the black dots are historical data, that you can see over here, and this deep blue line is the model predictions, and this light blue shadow is a 95% confidence interval around the predictions that you can see over here. So the blue line shows a good match with the pattern that you can see over here, which indicating a good prediction on historical data that you can see over here. So as you can see here, forecast for 2018 and 2019, and good to see that crime rate is decreasing that you can see over here. So this way we can perform forecasting using Facebook Prophet that you can see over here. So now our next question. So here we are going to save our model. So again and again training is not required and we can perform forecasting using our saved model. So for that you can see here I have imported JSON library, and also from Facebook Prophet.serialize I have imported model_2_JSON and model_from_JSON, and I have opened this file in write mode, and I have saved our created model that you can see over here. Let me execute this cell. As you can see here, now our model is successfully saved. In future, we can perform forecasting using this saved model. So for that, I have loaded this model that you can see over here. I have opened this file into read mode, and using model_from_JSON, I have loaded this model with instance M1. Let me execute this cell. So now here user can input number of months to forecast. Let me execute this cell. Let me enter 24, and that I have passed over here as a period X, which is entered by the user. Let me execute this cell. Let me execute this cell as well, and let me execute this cell as well. As you can see over here, forecast. So this way we can save our model. So again and again training is not required, and we can perform prediction using our saved model that you can see over here. So this way we can use Facebook Prophet for forecasting that you can see over here. So I will share this Google Colab notebook file. You can find this in the description of this video. Hope you like this video. Please don't forget to subscribe this channel. If you like this video, smash that like button. Thank you very much for watching this video. Take care. Bye-bye. See you in the next video.